Updog.
Updog. Updog.
Updog Sports Talk.
Hello, and welcome back to Updog Sports Talk. You are in the middle of our March Madness bracketology picks, whatever you want to call it.
Woohoo!
Currently, below me is Justin McGovern. We usually go full screen for this, but we're just going to keep it going. We're just continuing on from next.
Yeah, just going to keep it moving.
If you haven't caught our last episode, we did the West region. We are doing the East region this time. Let's go ahead and get started, Justin. Who we got?
All right. Starting us off, we have the Baylor Bears taking on the Norfolk State Spartans. Norfolk State is back in the tournament. I would say one interesting note here about Norfolk State. They've only made the tournament twice before. They have not, despite being a 15 and a 16 seed, respectively, in each appearance, they have not gone out of the tournament without winning at least one game. Does that streak end here?
I think so. Baylor is very good at basketball.
Yeah. They're a good team. They fought through a lot of injuries this year, and despite those injuries, managed to still be a 1 seed.
Right. They got
I do have to say though, Norfolk State's had an impressive year. I think they only end up like what is that, like 8 losses? We can pull this thing up. 6 losses all year. So I do have to say, of 1-16 matchups, there's not a lot of danger in those, but this one might be the most dangerous one of the tournament.
I just think
Norfolk State might be underseeded.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I do agree that Baylor is too talented to fall here. Next, we have the 8-9 matchup. North Carolina Tar Heels are back in the tournament. They take on the Marquette Golden Eagles under head coach Shaka Smart. What do you think about this matchup?
I like that Shaka Smart has gotten Marquette into the tournament. I am low key a Marquette fan, mainly because of Dwayne Wade, but I still like Marquette. But it's hard to pick North Carolina just because they have not been North Carolina as of late.
Yeah.
Like they haven't been the same team, but I still think they are going to ride that wave. I think they're gonna beat Marquette. I don't think this is going to be a 9/8 win this time. I think this is one of those few 8 seeds that win.
This was a tough one for me because so much of how I feel about North Carolina is the fact that they beat Duke at Duke to completely just shit on Coach K's last game at home. Outside of that, North Carolina has actually not looked that good. They have been destroyed by some top teams this year. That being said, Shaka Smart's tournament appearances have not looked good lately. Marquette has been sliding, so I will agree with you here on North Carolina.
I had the coin ready.
you were starting to think that was going to bring us to a tie here, but no, I agree with North Carolina on this. Next, we have the 5 seed St. Mary's taking on the winner of Wyoming and Indiana. Now, first of all, just similar to how we did the first 4 in the West region, Matt, who do you think comes out of that first 4 game?
It's tough. Indiana hasn't been too good, and Wyoming has been pretty good, but I don't know. I think just Indiana plays overall better competition all around. I got to go with Indiana on that one. Do you want me to move on to 5-12 at that point?
Yeah.
St. Mary's.
So I do agree. I think Indiana caught something late because for a while there they struggled offensively. While Wyoming had an excellent start to the year. Overall, a great year for Wyoming. Huge year for the program. I do hope they can win this game. But no, they're further north, Matt.
Yeah, but their
program is reserved for Southern programs.
But they're west.
You
can go west or south for programs.
So are we just saying it programs only for the East?
Only Northern, Midwest, and East.
What about Kansas? Where would that fall in this?
Programs. All right, we can just move on.
But yeah, I do agree. I think St. Mary's is going to win with their tough defense, just regardless of that matchup. That team's got a good, strong defense, senior group, so they're experienced. They know what to do. I think they can at least make it a game. Now, UCLA and Akron. UCLA back in the tournament after their surprise Final Four appearance last year. They fought through a bunch of injuries this year, but managed to make it in the tournament as a 4 seed. Akron Zips overcame Kent State in what turns out to be a bigger than expected rivalry game. Did not know those two had so much beef. What do you think about this one?
I'm wearing my Cincinnati jersey for one specific reason, and that's Mick Cronin. Mick Cronin's he's got a squad going out there in UCLA, so I gotta go UCLA.
Yeah, it does feel like they're getting healthy at the right time. This is a lot of the same players that made the run last year. They're ready to do it again. At the very least, they're going to get past the Akron Zips.
Yeah, very, very least.
Now, the Texas Longhorns and the Virginia Tech Hokies. Virginia Tech winning the ACC tournament out of nowhere. That turned out to be what they needed to even make the NCAA tournament. Now that they're here, can they make any noise with this game?
Texas has moments where you just scratch your head. But then they have moments where you're like, damn, they can compete. But Virginia Tech, man, I think, like I said before, I think the 6'11s are going to be the new 5'12s.
Ooh, you're going for another one. But you know what? At first glance, I was with you on this. I am not after diving into this further. Texas actually can do really well at defending the 3. That's pretty much all Virginia Tech does. Earlier in the year, just a couple weeks ago, Texas played Kansas in a tight game that went to overtime. The reason why that game was tight was because Texas defended the 3 so well against them. Kansas ended up overcoming them because of strong inside play. Virginia Tech does not have that strong inside play. I feel like they're just not going to be able to hit the 3s against this defense because they're strong against the 3. And overall, I know Chris Beard's just starting out there, but with his tournament pedigree, I mean, even at Arkansas Little Rock, he still managed to go at least with winning one game. I have to go with Texas in this one.
Let's go to the eye.
What do we got here? I'm most of this game in the ACC tournament. I'm pretty sure they're 0-3 against the top 25 prior to that.
Pretty similar outside of that, slightly more points per game.
They did lose to Xavier.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, you look at it though. I mean, Texas gave you see Kansas though. Kansas is like a better addition to Virginia Tech, and look, Texas gave them a tough time. And again, Kansas is a much better version. Virginia Tech's like the Walmart version of them.
Yeah, they did. I don't know. Should we go to the coin flip because this is still saying to me Virginia Tech.
Really? All right, we'll let the coin decide.
Flip a coin for me. It's heads.
Heads. Texas moves on.
Yep.
We have decided the higher seed is heads the whole time, right?
Yeah, we'll just keep going with that.
Probably should have mentioned that in the first video. Oh wow. All right, next we have the Purdue Boilermakers taking on the Bulldogs of Yale. What do you think about this one?
Both teams have very smart people on their court.
A lot of smart people.
Very, very smart people in this game.
Engineers versus nerds.
Yeah, pretty much. Not that we're dissing nerds. We're not doing that.
I mean, we're nerds ourselves. Just a different brand.
We're literally on the internet talking about sports. We have nothing better to do with our lives. So I got to go with Purdue. They're a really good basketball team.
Yeah, I do have to say, the
Not
one
saying
concern
Yale's
about
not, but
the one concern I have with Purdue is their defense. Their defense is not great, and that can leave you vulnerable in tournament games. But I mean, the freaking 7'4" center they have is just going to be too much for Yale in this matchup. I think that will allow them to overcome Yale, but I do think that Yale will be in this game until the under 8 timeout.
yeah.
Next, ooh, this is a good one. The Murray State Racers and the San Francisco. Oh man, I almost said crap.
You
I almost said 49ers.
That's a different video, Justin.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing their weird name. They're the San Francisco Dons.
This was a coin flip for me in every bracket that I filled out. So I could go literally either way. To me, it's gonna probably go to overtime and be such a great game.
I have to say, I read up on Murray State and I became convinced of them. And then I saw San Francisco, they got strong guard play, which can help you big time in the tournament. You know what? I think we should let the coin decide this one.
I'm okay with that because I had Murray State in one bracket and I had San Francisco in another. Flip a coin for me. It's tails.
Ooh, San Francisco with the upset. All right, go Dons. Next, we have the Kentucky Wildcats and the St. Peter's Peacocks, the Cocks for short. Who do you think will come out of this matchup?
The Peacocks? I can't say it. Kentucky. I can't.
I do have to mention,
I don't think Kentucky is that great of a team. I think they are good, but I don't think they're that great. So, not saying that it's definitely Kentucky. Like, I'm not a Kentucky fan. But in this matchup, St. Peter's, I don't know. They just don't scream anything to me.
Now, obviously, they're not exciting because St. Peter's mostly made it here on their defense. Their defense actually ranks, even adjusted for opponents, in the top 30. That's impressive for a school like that. Yeah. But they don't have the punch in the offensive end to pull the upset here. All right. So now circling back, we picked almost all chalk in this region, just because overall the underdogs, overall the underdogs were not. It was not strong matchups for underdogs in this region. I felt
not in this one, no.
But we have maybe some chaos can happen in the remaining rounds. The Baylor Bears taking on the North Carolina Tar Heels. Does North Carolina have the ability to pull upset here?
No. I just want to be dramatic about that. Dude, Baylor's so good at basketball. Like, just move them on.
Yeah, and this is where North Carolina just gets run off the court. Yeah. They aren't going to be able to contend with them on this one.
They do have experience in the tournament, but I think Baylor won it last year. They have most, if not all, their squad back.
And I don't know why they love putting North Carolina's 8th seed in Baylor's region, because this is exactly where North Carolina was last year. Actually, no, I think that North Carolina played Wisconsin, so they played a team in the same state as the 9th seed. That's hilarious. Something I'm realizing just now on air.
Isn't Marquette Chicago? I mean, it's pretty much Wisconsin, but
no, Marquette is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. Well, close enough.
There we go. Random facts. Marquette is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. There's a few of these schools, like St. Peter's. I don't even know where they're located. Next matchup in the state of California. The UCLA Bruins taking on the St. Mary's Gaels. Can St. Mary's spring an upset here, or does UCLA, with all that talent and tournament experience, move on?
UCLA is a good team, man. I got to keep going with UCLA.
Yeah, I do think they're going to be tested by St. Mary's defense.
But St. Mary's a good team. If they got pretty much any other matchup, I think they win. But UCLA is a good team, man.
I like the drama here of the in-state matchup too. I know St. Mary's is going to be the turn to try to pull the upset, but man, I just think in the end, UCLA's offense is just going to help them pull this off.
Is St. Mary's a bigger rival to Gonzaga or is it Loyola Marymount?
St. Mary's is considered the biggest conference rival to Gonzaga.
Okay. Just random fact. We'll just go with that.
All right, Texas versus Purdue. We barely were confident enough to get Texas out of the last game.
Yeah,
I know Purdue can be upset at any point because of
every
their
year.
lack of defense. I will disagree with you there. Purdue used to be a reliable threat to make the Sweet 16 until last year, but I think they beat Texas. Matt, what are your thoughts?
I wholeheartedly agree with that. I was not too sold on the 6-11 matchup in round one. Purdue, they're like a UCLA, but to me, I think UCLA is better than Purdue. But I got to move Purdue on.
Yeah, I agree with you there. The San Francisco Dons taking on Kentucky. We were robbed of the in-state matchup of Murray State and Kentucky by the coin. I want San Francisco to win this one. I don't think they will.
No, I agree with you on that one. Move Kentucky over.
Then, this is just a chalky region, man. This is just. I mean, I just like.
Just move on. I got things to say. Keep going.
We're even looking for upsets. We just can't find any. Baylor and UCLA. What do you think about this one?
We're looking for upsets. We're going with the upset.
Oh, damn it.
Mick
You're on
Cronin.
the same page as me.
Shut up, Justin. Get out of my head. Or where's the camera? Right there? Yeah, get out of my head.
Both these teams have been through a lot this year. Just so many injuries on both sides. But I think at this very moment, UCLA is healthier. And I think that gives them the edge. This will be a great game. Back and forth. Probably the game of this round. But yeah, I do have to agree with you. I think UCLA can pull off the upset here. And then Purdue and Kentucky. Both teams actually pretty close to each other on the map. This is where, because both teams are strong offensively.
Man, it's so tough because it's like you remember last year with Purdue and then Kentucky has not been the same Kentucky. Like I'm pretty sure, didn't they have like some random loss in the tournament?
They lost to Tennessee in the conference tournament, but the main thing is that Kentucky struggles against teams with tougher defenses. That's where they can get had, but I don't think Purdue brings that kind of defense here.
No.
Kentucky's offense is pretty strong. So is Purdue's. And I think Kentucky is just a little bit better on the defensive end, though.
Slightly. Like, I'm going to have to agree with you on Kentucky, but, man, in other brackets, I've had Purdue winning this. Out of pure luck, by the way.
This seems to be it's just setting up for them, isn't it? Because we get to this one now, and I think this is where the run ends for Mick Cronin and UCLA. I feel like they're not going to have, even though Mick Cronin's teams used to be built on defense, they're just not super strong defensively, and I think that'll allow Kentucky to win this one.
See, I disagree with you. I think UCLA is such a good team, and I don't think that Kentucky has. They have their ups and downs, but to me, they're like Duke. They're just not the same team that they used to be. And I think UCLA just has that it factor this year. I think they're what Baylor was not saying that UCLA is going to win the tournament or anything, but I think they're the Baylor of last year.
Yeah, I want to see it, but I just can't see them getting past this point. I think
click on the eye.
I think similar to what we saw with UCLA and Arizona in the Pac-12 championship, Kentucky is just going to be able to outscore them offensively. I mean, yeah.
I don't like that rank, the RPI rank. Obviously, like when I said I don't like some of the teams in the SEC, I think in the last video, obviously there's the upper echelon of UK and I guess this year Tennessee. I guess the past couple of years Tennessee, but for the most part, as a whole, the SEC has been trash, and that's why you get like UK going undefeated a handful of years ago. But I mean, I guess when you lose
It's
to
just-
Gonzaga by 20,
this matchup just screams it. Like you look at UCLA, you look at these losses here. Strong offenses in these losses. You look at Tennessee or Kentucky. I saw Tennessee here.
yeah,
You look at teams like Tennessee, Duke, Auburn, LSU, Arkansas. All those teams have one thing in common. That is a very strong defense. That's, I think, how you beat Kentucky. And they just haven't encountered that matchup in this whole region.
but UCLA statistically does have a better defense than Kentucky.
Screw it, let's just flip the coin.
All right, flip a coin for me.
Kentucky is the 2 seed, so they'll be heads. UCLA being the 4. Oh, it's Kentucky. Oh no. All right. We're done with this region. This region stinks.
Yeah, move on. All right, so East is done. West is done. If you haven't seen West, go watch it. I've said that twice this video. So
We promise you the West region was more fun to pick than this one.
yeah. I don't know why I'm so blurry. I gotta fix that for the next video. But yeah. Subscribe. Like us on every social media you can find. And comment, follow us. We love you guys. Let's see if we are correct on this. Our next video is South. Is that right?
Next video is the South region.
So our next video, it will be in the South region, and we will probably get to that here soon.
And don't forget to check out the Midwest region too, because that one's just gonna be utter chaos.
Yes. Both of the next 2 videos are going to be pretty good. So check us out. And like I said, I say this every basketball video. Send us what your picks are. Like we want to hear from you guys. Let us know. All right. If you made it for this far in the video, let us know. All right. So we'll see you guys next video.